Man. We are live. There we go. I'd actually be able to see stuff, right? Hopefully I went live in the right spot. I think I did daily updates. Am I? I don't even see myself live. Oh, there we go. Oh, there's April. I'm like, am I live? Lord. Hello, LWA. How's everybody doing? Aren't you? No, we're good. I gotta clean up these glasses. Holy. April, Brittany, the number's climbing. Listen, I couldn't find my eyelash set, so I had to use like an old set. So they're like not the lashes I usually put on, and they're like super sticky still. So if you see my eyes stick shut, now you know why. All right, guys. Who's excited about Wealth Wednesday? We're live in the community. You're right. April is, we only got 10 people on, guys. Come on, let's go. Let's pick this up. Thanks, Pam. Turning 29. Anybody believe that? No? There's Mandy. Man. Thank you, Pam. Okay, you're now my new best friend. All right, I'm going to wait for the number to come up a little bit more. I know it's early hours that we're doing these for summer hours right now, but it's summer, okay? We'll probably go back to regular scheduled program come September, right? So let's do, okay, 13. Let's wait for a couple more people, guys, all right? What are you guys getting me for my birthday? Huh? Just kidding. Oh, man. Okay. Okay, we're at 15. All right, and I know it'll start climbing as we keep going here. You like the early hours? I thought I was your new best friend. These are like so good. There's Tony. All right. Okay, so I do want to discuss something with you guys before we kind of get into the Wealth Wednesday training, because obviously we're in the community. And our newest people will also see this too. So I think this is really, 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 hopefully your first sale. Let's go, Natasha. Not hopefully, right? Claim that, by the way, right? I'm getting my first sale. Anyways, okay. I just want to kind of a little housekeeping before we kind of get into today's topic, which I'm really excited about, which I'll tell you in a second. All right. So I just want to be abundantly clear with everybody, all right? It's a lot of people, new people, and a couple of people who've been here for a little bit get super tripped up by the referral inside of Mighty, all right? So I just want to let everybody know, okay? Everybody got their listening ears on? The referral inside of Mighty means nothing, okay? Zero, nothing. Like, it's the only thing that we use it for is if we're having to revert back to the person that enrolled somebody, like if we need to contact the person that brought them in, it's literally only for like our feature. It's just a feature of Mighty, okay? A lot of people are getting it tripped up thinking that you guys aren't going to get paid or something. And it literally, guys, we host our platform, the actual affiliate platform, on Beacons, right? So the exchange and purchases of where you guys get paid is done through Beacons. Mighty is just a platform we host our community on, like Facebook. Think of it like Facebook, just a lot better than Facebook, right? Like if we had a page inside of Facebook, so when someone purchased an LWA product off you, like a community page in Facebook. Think of it like that, right? So it has nothing, the little referral thing has nothing to do with the way that you guys get paid. Okay, so I just want to be really, really clear on that. I feel like a lot of people have gotten tripped up on it, but keep in mind, all right, when I created the email flow that's inside of the launch strategy, right, I obviously can't take your guys' personal invite links and put them in the email flow. I can't, right? So I had to use LWAs. So if you guys want to change that invite link, go ahead, but it's just the host invite link, right? Because obviously I can't take your guys's. And that's a little time consuming. So if you want to change that, feel free. I just wanted to put a link in there so it was super easy for like our newest people, right? But that being said, you know, on the whole Facebook thing, when it comes to your personal accounts, like your emails, passwords, etc., also keep in mind, just like Facebook, okay? Just like Facebook, like if you guys got locked out of your Facebook and then you're like, Jamie, fix it. I'm like, right? Like we have to also keep in mind you would contact Facebook, right? So when it comes to emails and passwords and your personal accounts, we don't have access to that because Mighty wouldn't, because we're not the account holders, right? So if you are in that situation, you do have to contact Mighty. I know the support tab says if you have any technical issues, then contact us. If it is an account password situation, we will kind of direct you. We'll give you the right path to go down. Obviously, you can come to us and we'll give you the right path, right? But again, think of Mighty like Facebook. It is what it is. It's just the platform we host our community on, right? So, and that our course information is on, but our sales and everything are done through Beacons. Okay, so now that we got that covered, so yeah, again, don't get tripped up about the referral thing. It's got nothing to do with the way you guys get paid, right? Someone purchases your affiliate link is in Beacons. Y'all created them when you came into LWA. Okay, yay! All right, so Wealth Wednesday is a little bit different than our academy trainings. Our academy trainings, we go a little hard. Huh? Who loves the academy? Like, guys, what? Drop me some hearts, right? Drop me some hearts. Well, I want to know what you guys love about the academy. Drop it below. All right, drop it below for me. I want to see what you guys love about it, because it is different than our courses that we hold, right? I just want to read them. I don't know why. Okay. Okay. So the real and the fire. I've learned so much. The fire and energy and bluntness. Yay! Okay. The sale academy, isn't it? I know, right? You should have seen when we were researching that to do that. I was like, dang. Okay. The hands-on. I love that, Natasha. I really, really, really do. Okay. So Wealth Wednesday. If you guys are an OG, you know I did a training. It's a gentle smack on the face. Is it gentle, though, Drea? Is it? Okay. You guys remember a training that I did a while ago? It was Lead Like a Movement. We did the hustler mindset versus the entrepreneurial mindset. If you guys haven't watched that training, highly encourage you guys to go back to the playbacks, okay? To go watch that one. It was really game changer for a lot of people. There was one topic that I did talk about inside of it, or like we went down a list. It was like a this or that, right? Like a this or that type of thing, like how a hustler mindset would think, and then how an entrepreneurial mind would think, right? One of them on there was react versus respond. Do you guys remember that? Instead of reacting to a situation, right, which would be a hustler mind. Something just fell off my dresser. It's weird. It's my spirit guides. Okay, the hustler mindset reacts, right? Entrepreneurial mindset responds, right? Reactions are emotional, right? And responses are not. Emotion is taken out of it, right? You respond to the situation instead of reacting to the situation, right? So I kind of want to go a little deeper on that. I truly do. Because I feel like this coincides with each other, especially when you come in to an industry like this, right? We are told, how am I understanding on phone? We are told that telling your story is one of the biggest pieces that you have, right? Your story is going to ever evolve as you're in the industry. I mean, look at myself for an instance, right? My bank account no longer sits at 34 cents. You know, I'm not here to, I still put groceries on the table, but I've evolved, is what it is. I've evolved. Your story is ever changing, and life that happens to us is a big reason why the story ever evolves. I mean, we have relationships, and then all of a sudden we're out of relationships, right? We have friends. All of a sudden, we feel like we've grown. We've closed a chapter in that area. One of the biggest lessons that I learned from an incredible mentor that I had was learning how to respond to a situation and not react. I was a reactor. Thank you. It's Saturday, by the way, but I love the. It's my birthday week. Okay. One of the biggest, I want to say, top 5 lessons that I learned as a leader was learning how to respond to a situation and not react. I was very arrogant, egotistical, maybe. No, not me. But the leader I am today was not who I was 7 years ago, 8 years ago, I guess now. So I want to get in today into the Wealth Wednesday topic so you guys can learn from my mistakes, so you can learn from other people's mistakes and truly learn the truth about telling your story. Okay? Because you probably have already heard it inside, maybe outside of the industry. Maybe you've come in from something else, right? That to tell your story, be vulnerable. People buy from people. Let them in, right? And I'm not here to say that they're wrong. No. I'll never say that. Because absolutely, your story matters, okay? Yes, people connect with real. I preach about that all the time. What's our emoji today? April, you don't get to pick it today. It's going to be somebody else. April, you picked a plant last time. Right? What's our emoji today? All right? Not a crying face. All right? If you guys are new, I always have somebody. Oh, Tara's in with the swan. All right. Natasha, you almost got it. All right, guys, we got a swan today. You should have picked birthday cake. Okay. So, Tara, you get to pick next day. We got to do the birthday cake, okay? All right, we got to do the birthday cake. So, you guys usually pick an emoji. It's not a fire emoji because everybody always drops in a fire emoji. So, the birthday cake always means you are what's the word I'm looking for? This is going to be great. Wealth Wednesday, guys. All right? You're connecting with a part of the training, okay? Okay? But I want to tell you guys where it goes horribly wrong when people are telling their story, right? You guys have all seen, most of you guys have seen a lot of stuff. I tell my story over and over and over and over and over again, right? But it's when people turn their story into a spectacle, when they use their pain as a post strategy, when they confuse processing emotions with publishing emotions. And it's a damage that I don't think I've ever seen anybody talk about before. We're going to get real today. Wealth Wednesday. Because I can be totally honest with you guys. I see it every single day. Every single day. Someone's going through a hard time. Maybe it's a breakup, a betrayal, you've lost somebody, a trauma. And instead of dealing with it offline, they post a 17-slide story, spiraling, looking for validation. If you guys are new to LWA, okay, we don't pussyfoot around the truths around here, okay? I'm not going to train you guys on topics that aren't going to get you nowhere. We do real hard truths here, all right? So if you're new watching this, buckle up, all right? Okay, so what happens, right? Boom! Your engagement spikes. Your inbox fills with heart emojis. You're so brave messages. You get comments. You feel seen. Your views are up. Your post is performing. And for a split second, you feel like you are gaining momentum. Natasha, you are now gold star 2. Okay. Positive Pam, Natasha. Okay. Number 1's today. Like you finally cracked the algorithm. You finally got eyes on you. You feel supported, even important, right? But here, April, in your friggin' potted plant. But here, I got a tickle in my throat. But here is what's actually happening. You've mistaken sympathy for strategy. And you've mistaken attention for authority. And yes, even if you're brand new, you have authority, all right? You've walked through things before that nobody else has walked through, right? You have authority, even if you're brand new. Because behind all those likes and love bombs, you just shown hundreds, if not thousands of people why they shouldn't join you. You've given them a reason to hesitate. You planted a seed of doubt. Oh, that April, woo, she's going through a lot right now. Maybe I'll wait. Oh, that Natasha, it's kind of heavy. I'm not sure I want to be in her world. That Tara, this is not the energy I want leading me. And they don't say it to your face, but they think it. And that silent hesitation is why they watch your stories but don't click your links. It's why they like your post but never join your offer. It's why your DMs feel full but your business stays stuck. And you want to know the wild part? You think you're finally building connection. But what you're actually doing is triggering discomfort. Listen, we're keeping the AC on today because it's like 28 degrees out already, and I don't need to have heat stroke by doing this, okay? So if it's loud, I apologize. Okay. All right. Okay. Because your content became about you and not them. About your feelings, not about the future you're helping them build. About being seen and not being trusted. This is where most people burn bridges, light a match. Okay? They didn't even know that they're walking on. They confuse being vulnerable with being volatile. They confuse sharing with spilling. And they don't realize the price until it shows up as silence on their sales page. A few weeks, maybe even a couple of 4 weeks or whatever goes by. And you wonder why you got zero momentum after that. So yes, the damage might not show up immediately, but believe me, it will. You don't build a trustworthy brand through chaos. You build it through composure, and your audience feels that difference, even if they don't say a word. So let's get one thing straight before anybody comes for me. But Jamie, it's a part of my story, okay? You can be in a negative situation without becoming a negative presence. Let me repeat that. You can be in a negative situation without being a negative presence. Somebody type it in the chat. You can be in a negative situation without being a negative presence. You are allowed to be going through it. You are allowed to feel overwhelmed. You are allowed to be in the season that sucks, personally, financially, emotionally. Okay? But that does not mean your audience needs to feel all of it in real time. Because energy is contagious, and so is leadership. And whether you realize it or not, your audience is taking cues from how you show up. So here's the mindset shift you need to lock in. Your story doesn't stop mattering when it gets hard, but your energy matters more than ever when it is. Being authentic doesn't mean being chaotic. Being vulnerable doesn't mean bleeding all over your timelines or crying all over them too, okay? Yeah, Drea with the cakes. Being real doesn't mean unfiltered emotional processing with a caption. Because here's what happens when you lead with emotional leadership, not emotional, when you lead with emotional leadership, not emotional dumping. You stop posting things you haven't processed. You start sharing lessons you've lived through, not wounds you're living in. You stop looking for strangers to give you emotional safety. I'm spitting, I'm so excited. You start creating a platform that feels emotionally safe to them. You stop treating your audience like your therapist, and you start becoming the kind of leader that they want to follow. This isn't about hiding. This is about holding space, holding power, holding back long enough to make your story mean something. And this is the rule I want you guys to live by, to write it down like an affirmation if you must. If it's not processed, it's not posted. Say it again. If it's not processed, it's not posted. That doesn't mean that you need to be fake, okay? That's not what I'm saying, all right? It means that you need to give yourself the respect of healing before performing. And when you're ready to share, you do it with structure, not spiraling. And that's where the next part comes in. CEO leadership, that's right. You're not just telling your story, you're leading with it. So here's how we do that without dumping, spiraling, and sabotaging trust. Step number one. What you've been through. Tell the truth, not the trauma. Your audience doesn't need the unedited version of your diary, guys. My goodness. They need the context of your story, not the chaos of it. This means no real-time meltdowns, no live updates of emotional breakdowns, no passive-aggressive, if you know, captions. Tell the story as if you've already walked through the fire, is what I'm saying. Not while you're still inside it. Teach the mindset shift. If your voice is still shaking, it belongs in a journal, not a carousel post. Yes. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Tony. Nail on the head. We are the solution to the problem. Right? So, something like this. Last winter, I went through something I didn't see coming, and it cracked me wide open. Step number 2. What you learned. Be the bridge, not the burnout. Now that you've named the storm, show them what came from it, just like what Tony said. This is where your wisdom lives. The shift, the lesson, the moment of clarity. Don't leave your story unresolved. Don't center your pain without sharing the transformation. Don't tell people life is hard without giving them hope. Do show what clicked. Do share what changed for you. Do let people borrow your belief. People don't follow your pain. They follow your pattern recognition. What did it teach you? Like Tony just said. The experience taught me that survival mode can't build a sustainable life. And I knew I had to rebuild from the ground up. That's right, be a coach. Step number 3. What you're giving, lead with purpose, not pity. This is the most missed step. You are not the main character. Your story is the setup, but your audience is the hero. What are you giving them? Why are you telling them this now? What transformation are you inviting them into? Don't leave people sitting in your sadness. Don't tell stories just to feel seen. Don't forget, or don't forget to make it relevant. All right? Do offer encouragement, perspective, or even action. And do invite them into something, a shift. Maybe it's a tool, a next step. Do end with clarity, not confusion. A good story ends with empowerment, not attention. Like this. If you're in that same place trying to find the next step out in the dark, this is the sign that you don't have to do it alone. Here's what helped me. Like Tony said, solution. Before you hit share, ask yourselves, am I processing or am I performing? Do I need comfort right now or do I have clarity? Am I looking for support or am I offering it? Is this content for me or is it for them? Will this make my audience feel safe or responsible for me? If the answer feels shaky, don't post it yet. Talk to somebody. Write it down. Let it breathe. Leadership starts with the response, the discernment, not reacting to the situation, responding to the situation, right? Here's a little plug and play formula your audience can use to practice safe strategic storytelling. There was a time when what I didn't realize then was, and now I help others do the same because you don't have to stay stuck. I'll say it again. There was a time when what I didn't realize then was, and now I help others do the same because you don't have to stay stuck. Here's an example. There was a time when I felt like no matter how hard I worked, I was always behind. What I didn't realize then was that I wasn't lazy, I was in survival mode. And now I help others build digital income streams that give them time and peace back. Encourage them to try this I encourage you guys to try this in your stories, a practical post just for yourselves. Okay? Common mistakes to avoid and how you can fix them. Mistake number 1, my life is such a mess lately, I just want to disappear. Here's how you can reframe it. Some seasons stretch you more than they reward you. But even here, I'm learning who I am. Mistake number 2, I've been crying all day. I don't even know who I am anymore. Reframe. This season is forcing me to rebuild in ways I didn't expect. But I'm starting to see the foundation I never had. Mistake number 3, I can't believe people treat others this way. I'm so done. Reframe. I used to tolerate what I didn't deserve. Now I lead with boundaries, and that changed everything. All right. Number 1, my life is such a mess lately. I just wanted to start. Oh, she's writing them down. I was like, April, really? Are you actually? I thought you were putting it in there. All right. Now, stories. Story for connection versus story for intention. Here's some words for stories for connection. Processed, empowering, anchored in service, rooted in clarity, focused on shared experience. Now, here's some stories that you just want attention for. Unprocessed, vague and emotional, rooted in self-soothing, seeking sympathy, leaves the audience confused and concerned. If your story ends with, and here's what I've learned, you are building connection. If your story ends with, I don't even know anymore, you're building confusion. You don't need to be perfect, you guys. It just needs to be clear. The truth most people won't say out loud is, you are not too much for having feelings. You're not too emotional for needing to process things deeply. And you're not wrong for wanting to feel seen, heard, and understood, but you are responsible for where you take those needs. Okay? You guys ever hear that statement from Will Smith? You guys ever heard any like YouTube audio, like motivational audios before? You probably heard this, where he says, you can't help what happens to you, but you damn well, it's your responsibility about what you do about it, right? Here's an example. You can't help that your partner cheated on you, right? You're allowed to process, but if I come back a year from now and you're still on the ground, then it's damn well your responsibility. So you are responsible for where you take those needs, okay? And when you're building a brand, a business, when you're leading with a mission, when you're showing up online asking people to trust you, buy from you, follow you, join you, you don't get to process your pain publicly and call it strategy. You are the face of your business. You are the leader of your community, even if you just started yesterday. And the leadership means you carry your story with care. You don't owe the internet your lowest moments in real time. You don't owe anyone full access to your chaos. And you don't need to prove your struggle to earn respect. What you owe to yourself, to your audience, to your future clients, is to move through your story with integrity. Because no one, and I mean no one's coming into your world thinking, wow, she's going through it. Let me hand her my money right now. You want to know what they're actually thinking? Can this person guide me? Can I trust them? Do I feel safe in their energy? And that trust is built not in your pain, but in your presence, in your ability to hold the weight of life and still stand in your values, in your ability to share real moments with emotional responsibility, in your ability to take the hard things you walk through and turn them into wisdom, guidance, clarity, and yes, power. So what story are you telling? And what energy are you telling it in? Is your content helping people feel seen or making them feel responsible for seeing you? Are you posting to connect or are you doing it to cope? Are you creating trust or tension? This isn't about silencing yourself. Don't have me misunderstood. This is about stewarding your story. There is power in your past, but only if you know how to lead from it. There is influence in your honesty, but only when it's grounded in truth and not reaction. There is strength in being a human being, but there is legacy in knowing when to speak and how. So before you post anything this week, ask yourself, is this content helping me connect or is it helping me cope? Am I sharing from the scar or from the wound? Am I being emotionally honest or emotionally impulsive? And if you're not sure, stop. Write it down. Voice note it to yourself or a partner or a family member. Talk to your people. Talk to your dog. They're really good listeners. I'm not sure if you guys ever met any dogs before. They don't talk back much. They're great listeners. your journal, not your audience. Because your story deserves more than being dumped in a caption during a breakdown. It deserves to mean something. And let's circle back to one of those that I just said. Writing it down. Let's talk about journaling. But not in the Pinterest, Dear Diary, rose gold notebook kind of way. I'm talking about journaling as a discipline, a strategy, and even a leadership tool. Because here's the truth. Most of the mess we see online, the chaos and the captions, the meltdowns and the stories, that I'm going through something, but don't ask me what energy that floods people's feeds, it's not strategy. It's just that self-soothing. It's posting to cope, not connect. It's a cry for validation wrapped up in a trending sound, if you ask me. It's pain pushed out too fast. If no one else is going to say it, I will. That's not vulnerability. That's volatility, like I said in the beginning. And it's leaking trust from your business. Well, here's what journaling actually does. It intercepts the spiral before it spills onto the screen. It gives your emotions a place to land that's not your audience's lap. It builds the pause between what you feel and what you post. April, it's neuroscience, so you should know it. And self-respect in the same breath. You know, I was coached by a very arrogant man. He was really good at business, though. Super full of himself. And we were at his lodge. And he obviously knows a lot of millionaires, right? Super rich guy. And he said to me, he said, did you know that he's never met anybody who's a millionaire who didn't journal every single day? Every millionaire he's ever met, spoken to, had the pleasure of being in a meeting in, every single one of them journal. Because when you journal, you're literally activating the prefrontal cortex, the rational, regulating, decision-making part of your brain. And that's not woo, okay? That's actually science. It slows the heart rate, lowers cortisol, and it actually reduces anxiety. It's psychology. Listen, someone's gonna have to come do this, okay? The psychology creates space between the trigger and the story you tell about it. That space, that's where power lives. That space is the difference between no one's supporting me, I'm done, and I've been feeling unseen lately. And I'm realizing it's time to realign in how I show up. Between I'm broken, everybody attacking me. And this season is showing me how strong I actually am, between chaos and clarity. So here's what I'm asking you to build: a habit, a checkpoint, a boundary, a place where the first version of your story goes before your feed ever sees it. Call it a journal, call it a draft folder, call it a not yet file. I don't care what you call it, but give yourself that space. Because if you don't have a place to process your emotions in private, you will start using your business to process your emotions publicly. And you'll confuse your audience. You're going to push people away. You'll lose trust that took months to build. All because you didn't give your pain a safe place to land. And that doesn't mean you're bad at business. It means you're never taught this part about leadership. So here you are. Let's teach it. Here's a journal lesson for everybody. Don't post it, process it. Right? Oh my goodness. Yes, ma'am. Hold on. Okay. This isn't just journaling. This is emotional leadership training. This is how you check your story before your audience does, okay? The private post. Here's how it works. Are you saying Bella? Or did you hear Bella? When you're in your feelings, don't post. Write it like you would if you were going to share it, okay? Write out a post. Say the things you want to say, unfiltered, uncensored, unpolished. Get it out, then pause. Let it sit. Let your body cool down. Let your brain catch up. Let your nervous system come back online. When the emotions settle, that's when the actual story starts to take shape. That's when you decide if it becomes content or just clarity. Respond, not react, right? Use these as a checkpoint before you ever post anything emotionally driven, right? Or when you're deciding if a moment belongs in your business. Emotional clarity. What am I actually feeling right now and why? Name it. Own it. Don't justify it. Just get honest. Next up, what am I hoping for by sharing this? Is it connection, attention, relief, validation, control? Get honest with yourself too. Next up, have I processed this with someone safe yet? If not, probably doesn't belong online yet. What's the lesson underneath this story? If you can't find one yet, wait. The gold is in the insight. Would this post make someone hesitate to join me? Would it create safety, or is it going to create confusion? If I waited one more week, what would I say differently? Your future self always tells a better version, by the way. What do I want my story to stand for 5 years from now? That is a legacy prompt, by the way. What do I want my story to stand for 5 years from now? Lead from there. Every post is a thread in a long-term reputation. Okay? Make it a part of your routine. Before you post something hard, write it down first. Go to the dollar store. Go get $1. Up here in Canada, nothing's $1. That is like $1, like at least $2, so at least $2.50. Okay. Go to the $2 store. Okay. I promise you, go spend a couple bucks. All it has to be is like literally one of these, right? Just has to be paper, right? Before you post something hard, write it in here first. Use this when your emotions are loud and your logic is quiet. Come back to it whenever you feel the urge to just get it out there. Because when you learn to pause before you publish, you stop leaking trust and start building it. You become grounded emotionally and an intelligent leader. And that's the kind of presence that builds real wealth, not just reach. When you get this right, the story doesn't just make you visible, it makes you valuable. You stop being someone who just posts content. And you start to become the people, it starts to become someone people trust with their next step. Not because you shared the most, not because you cried the loudest, but because you stood in the truth long enough to learn from it and bold enough to lead from it. Because real relationships, real leadership, I should say, isn't about sharing everything. It's about sharing what matters with clarity, with intention, and with emotional responsibility. Anyone can post their pain. Anyone can go live in a spiral. Anyone can crack the door open to their chaos and call it authentic. But it takes real maturity to pause, to process, and to come back stronger. To take the long road, not the loud one, to write it down before you write it off. You want to build a business that people remember? You want to create content that converts without chasing the algorithm? You want your story to move people, not just make them uncomfortable? Lead with presence. Speak with purpose. And make journaling a part of your process, not your punishment. Because the journal is where your story gets filtered, where your emotions get organized, where your voice gets clearer before it ever hits a timeline. It's where you become someone who doesn't just feel deeply, who leads wisely. This is the kind of storytelling that builds legacies, not just likes. It earns trust. It attracts the right people. It positions you as someone who knows who they are, even if life is messy. Especially when life is messy. And that is the business you're building. Not from a highlight reel, not from a radical reflection. One story, one shift, one journal entry at a time. So write it down. Refine the way you share it. And guard your story like it's the most powerful asset you have. Because it is. And now, you know how to carry it. With power, with purpose, with presence. You know, when I was talking to Jeslyn, I'm going to let you guys go after this. We're talking about the story that I tell when I had 34 cents in my bank account, and the Christmas previous to that, I didn't tell that story right away. I didn't tell that story because a lot had happened was the reason that we ended up in that situation. And I blamed a lot of people when I began telling that story. A lot of bad business decisions that I had no control over. You know, my husband being at that job that he absolutely hated. So many things led up to that. And I didn't tell that story right away because it would have been emotionally charged. It got processed through a lot, through hundreds of pages of a journal. Hundreds of pages. It almost filled up an entire journal. And then when I finally released that, to be able to respond to the situation that we are in, I burned that journal and got rid of those emotions. And now I lead from a place of clarity, with power, with purpose, and presence. So, all right, Wealth Wednesday. I feel like this was game changer. So, tomorrow night is the big night where we drop an announcement. I'm super excited. If you're not on tomorrow night's work session, be there or be freaking square, y'all. All right. So, love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Bye. Did I end it? I don't even know if I did.